Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. How's everyone doing? It's Tony back once again from Masters of the 80s. Hope everyone's doing well and okay. Bit of an update video now for my VHS collection. I've recently picked up some VHS tapes. They come in sporadically really. I find stuff sort of like all at once sometimes, then I'll find nothing for weeks and weeks and weeks. But over the last few weeks we've been having a jaunt around at weekends and we've been to different places, been to a few different cities and obviously sort of charity shops, second-hand shops, things like that. They're all different everywhere you go, and luckily I've managed to pick up some VHS from some of these places. So we're going to have a look through what's actually come in. The first one was I think it was a British Heart Foundation shop in Norwich, in Norfolk. And this is a personal favourite of mine. For some reason I've never owned this previously. I have currently got a friend of mine's, and I've had it for years, bootleg version of this film, bootleg DVD that's sat up there. And I think that was a direct rip from this VHS tape. But it is Flight of Dragons. Absolutely adore this film. It's really, really good. It's one of those that sort of from an animated point of view works really well. The animation style works really well. I'm sure, why can't I see the thing on that? Yeah, it's a voice in it by James Earl Jones. Why can't I see it? Yeah, Rankin and Bass. Sorry, I don't know why I'm not brain one with them. But it's a Rankin and Bass film, which you can tell in the style, you can tell in everything. It screams their work. But it is really, really good. And if you've never seen it, I think there is a Blu-ray release out of this in the US. I'm sure there's a DVD version of it over here as well, but we haven't got a Blu-ray version of it. But that was a nice pickup, and I'm just looking at the back. It wasn't a Heart Foundation, it was a YMCA, and I found it for 50p. I had a quick look online, and it seems to be selling for decent money. I mean, there's copies of it on eBay for £18 and £20 and £10 and all kinds of stuff. But 50p, I couldn't leave it there. It's in pretty decent condition as well. Didn't rewind it though, the buggers. So yeah. So that was the first one, Flight of Dragons. Next is a little stack. These were picked up by my friend Julie. Hello, Julie. She was out charity shopping in another town a bit further up from me called Lee. And she went in one charity shop and noticed did loads of VHS tapes, and she rang me and said, do you want any of this stuff? It's all here, there's loads of it. So we video timed each other and she showed me what was on the shelves, and this is what I picked up, and they were 25p a tape, I think, or 50p a tape. I know it wasn't much. So the first one that was there was Lethal Weapon 4. I enjoy Lethal Weapon 4. For me, it's not the best in the franchise. I know some people do like it. I personally, I like 1 and 2. They're my go-tos. But again, it was a nice one to have in the collection. I didn't own it on any kind of format. So that was Lethal Weapon 4. This film is a great film. I have a DVD release of this. For some reason, I've never picked up the Blu-ray. And it's a widescreen version of American History X. Fantastic film. Edward Norton, probably one of Edward Norton's better films. The opening sequence in this film, where there is an incident where one guy gets curb stomped, where he's made to put his teeth on the curb, and then he's stamped on the back of the head, and you don't physically see it, but the noise does it all. It's haunting. It's horrible. That's the only thing you need to know about this film, and it's imprinted in my brain. That curb stomp that the guy gets at the beginning of the film, it's nasty. But a fantastic film. Like I said, for me, probably one of Edward Norton's better films. There we go. Film I've not seen in absolute years. I can't remember if I liked it or not, but I grabbed it anyway. I couldn't really leave it there. It's a widescreen release of Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. Again, it's been years and years and years since I've seen this. I don't normally watch this kind of film, but for 25 pence or 50 pence worth of it, I'll give it a watch again, that one. Bit of an obscure title now. As soon as I saw this one on the shelf, I had to have it. It's in really good condition too. I'd seen this, is it an early 90s film this? I think it's an early 90s film. 94, 95, something like that. Could be. Might even be earlier. Meteor Man. Like a bungling sort of like science fiction superhero kind of film. The tagline on it, a superhero for the 90s. It's a bit slapstick, it's a bit cheesy, but it's a really enjoyable little film, and not a title that sort of like pops up all the time. It's not something I've seen kicking around, so I couldn't leave that one there. I had to grab that one. And out of this stack, probably the best one here for me personally. I mean, I don't really like a lot of Mike Myers films. I don't really like Mike Myers as an actor. Some of his stuff really grates on me. But for some reason I really enjoy this film, and is So I Married an Axe Murderer. I think it's great. I think the comedy works really well in it. It's really dry. The bit where you sort of get to meet his family in it, and they're all from Scotland. They're all I think they're all Glaswegians. It's brilliant. It's comedy gold. Like I said, for me, the best film that Mike Myers did by a long shot. That was So I Married an Axe Murderer. The only big box X rental that came through in this stack. It's another little good film, to be honest. It works quite well. I can just put this on, enjoying it at any time. It is, and again, I don't own a copy of this on Blu-ray, DVD, or anything. I've never really picked it up. But again, I couldn't leave it there for what it was. And it's Three Kings. Clooney's pretty good in it. Ice Cube's pretty good in it. Wahlberg in it. But again, an enjoyable film. One of those that there's a couple of films like this that I enjoy, and I don't really know why. They're just, you can put them on in the background. Sahara, if you know the film Sahara, the sort of newer film, not the old one with Sean Connery in it. That's another one I can just put on and enjoy, and it's blatant nonsense, but Three Kings is another one too. It's quite enjoyable, so I like that one. And then the next ones I purchased from a guy I know, who has a stall in why won't my man think now? Yes, it is Bygone Times. Why couldn't I think of that? Bygone Times in Exton, which is just up the road from me, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. And he has sort of like a big stall set up in there. There's sort of like pop culture stuff. So he's got VHS and he's got DVDs. He sells a lot of Star Wars figures. He sells a lot of Star Wars vehicles. He's got a lot of the Master of the Universe stuff. It's really cool. It's a cool stall. If you're ever up that way, go and check his stall out. But he had a couple of videos, a couple of titles on there that I picked up for reasonable money. First one's a Toby Hooper film. If you know me, you know I enjoy the films of Toby Hooper. One of my favourite directors. This one's never had a Blu-ray release. I don't even know if this has got a DVD release in the UK. I think it has, and I think it came out on some like Hollywood DVD double pack with another crappy film attached to it. And I imagine it's just the transfer of this VHS, because they were done really cheaply. But there's no Blu-ray of it, and I don't know why, because it's not the worst thing that Hooper ever did, and that's Spontaneous Combustion. I do enjoy this film. I really like this cover as well. Always like that cover. And that one I paid $4.99 for it. I paid a £5 for it. But it's one I wanted in my collection. It's a Toby Hooper film I didn't have. So I thought that would be quite cool to put into the collection. And finally, for the VHS, again from the same guy, the same seller. A film that I like. Critics hated. It absolutely tanked. I own an original theatrical poster for this, an original quad. It's got Gina Davis in it, and you can't go wrong with Gina Davis. It's Cutthroat Island. Yeah, it's a pirate flick. It's not the best pirate flick you'll ever see, but it's got Gina Davis in it. Yes. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? It is fun. It's not the best. And like I say, it did absolutely tank when it came out. I think they was expecting to get a franchise out of this. I think they was expecting possibly to get 3 films out of it, and it just didn't pan out like that at all. You know what I mean? It did that poorly theatrically, and even on home video release, it tanked. I think so. Yeah, but I personally enjoy it, and when I saw it on an X-Rental, I had to grab it. It's not rare or anything like that, you know what I mean? It can be found. That one was £3.50, you know what I mean? With £3.50 of anybody's money. So that was the whole lot. Again, guys, thank you very much for everybody that's subscribing at the moment. The subscriber count's shooting up brilliantly, you mean? I'll be at 1,000 subscribers before you know it. So thank you very much for subscribing. If you've not subscribed and you've just come across this video first time because you've been looking for VHS, consider subscribing and having a look at some of the other videos. I've got other VHS pickups in here, and I've done live streams where I've gone through some of my collection and stuff. You might find a video on here that you enjoy, and if you do enjoy it, please give us a thumbs up and give us a like and share some of the content round. Share some of the love. So guys, take care. I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.